Okay, so I am going crazy. I've been trying to do this whole thing for like weeks now. I have tried filming on my phone and it's been like, okay, it's been a little bit less awkward than filming on my camera has been, but we're trying this out and I'm just not gonna stress out about it, and we're just gonna speak from the heart today. So I have been talking a lot on Instagram about kind of starting to adopt this whole like low-key minimalistic lifestyle, and so it's like a lighter version of it. I'm definitely not like throwing out everything I own and only wearing like 5 pieces of clothing per week or anything like that, because that's just not realistic for me at this time. But I have, as I've kind of adjusted the way I think and the way that I value my physical possessions, I have gleaned so much from this, from the season of not focusing on what I can buy and what I can obtain, but more of pursuing my relationship with the Father and being able to create and being able to dream a little bit more vividly, because I'm not thinking about all these physical things or thinking about what people think of me, because in reality all those things are so temporary and they're not going to last at all, like at all. It's also kind of just made me think a little bit about what I'm putting my value in and what I'm claiming as my source. What am I going to whenever I need something to pick me up? Am I going towards shopping? Am I going towards food? Am I going towards friends or the approval of others? Or I don't know. There's just so many things that we like to kind of put this like satisfaction in, and what we go to, like, oh, I've had a hard day, I'm gonna do this, how much money I'm making, even, it's like, oh, well, if I don't make this amount of money, then I'm not gonna be able to be happy. Or if I can't spend my money, then how am I gonna be happy? It's even like kind of pursuing or as I dive into what minimalism is and just kind of simplifying my life. That's been the whole goal lately, is just kind of simplifying my life and living a more intentional lifestyle. So everything that I do, I want to do with intention, with purpose. And if I'm not doing it with intention and purpose and I'm focusing on the wrong things, then what am I doing? What am I pursuing? It's not going to bring me any joy. It's not going to bring me any satisfaction. In reality, it just doesn't matter. I'm just wasting my time. If I'm not doing things with intention and with purpose and with an end goal in mind of, glorifying the Lord and living a lifestyle that's more full and more full of joy, and that's gonna really leave a legacy of love and of life, then I really have to reevaluate what I'm doing, right? So I think I really did want to share a verse about that, because there are so many things where you can look at minimalism from a worldly point of view and just say, oh, it's like a nice aesthetic and da-da-da-da-da. But in reality, like, we are called to live, humble lifestyles as believers. And so, it even said, like, Jesus even told his disciples, to give everything they had, sell everything they had and give that money to the poor. Like, we're not meant to collect these things and put our value in things, but to put our value in the one who is greater than I. And it even says, like, because as I've kind of like minimalized what I'm doing and what kind of media I'm even consuming, because I think a lot of times we can do that. We can look towards media and we can look towards what other people are doing so we can kind of vicariously live through them, or to even just, we're like, but social media just makes me feel so bad, but then we go back towards it and we're drawn towards this thing that's actually just making us feel like crap. The Bible tells us to do the exact opposite. And so that's kind of one of the verses I want to share with y'all today. Is it's in John 15, and you've probably heard of it, but looking at it from a different perspective, we're called to live in him and to abide in his presence, not in things, and not to focus on abiding in things, or living in this constant chase of things. But it says, abide in me and I in you. As a branch cannot bear fruit by itself unless it abides in the vine, neither can you unless you abide in me. I am the vine and you are the branches. Whoever abides in me and I in him, he it is that bears much fruit. For apart from me, you can do nothing. If anyone does not abide in me, he is thrown away like a branch and withers, and the branches are gathered, thrown into the fire and burned. If you abide in me and my words abide in you, ask whatever you wish and it will be done for you. By this my Father is glorified, that you bear much fruit and so prove to be my disciples. As the Father has loved me, so I have loved you. Abide in my love. If you keep my commandments, you will abide in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love. These things I have spoken to you, that my joy may be in you and that your joy may be in full. And I think that's so powerful, like how we're called to just soak in his presence. This is what all he asks of us. And that's like what his goal is. And he even says, like, this is my wish for you. This is my desire for you. It's not for you to chase after all these things that are so temporary, but to really just to be with him. And that's all the Lord asks of us, is to just be with him and pursue him, and everything else is gonna, come and go as he plans. But the biggest thing I've learned from simplifying my life and from taking away these things that don't matter is that I was putting so much of my satisfaction and my joy and, chasing after something that was going to make me happy or made me feel like I was full of joy. But in reality, I wasn't. It was a temporary high that didn't last very long. I know, it's just so crazy that the more you abide in him, the more you experience this fullness of joy, this joy that isn't, you're not like, oh, but it's not going to last, it's not going to last. But in reality, it's eternal. Like this thing that we're pursuing, this faith and this relationship with the Father that we're pursuing and that we're moving everything else out of the way, that's eternal. Like, that's going to actually last. And I think that's so powerful, you guys. Like, I don't know, it's just crazy, I don't know, I just really challenge y'all, like, to evaluate the things that you're putting your value in and putting your joy in and your satisfaction in, and say, like, if it's really adding to your life, then obviously keep it, but let go of things that aren't adding to your life and are taking away from it. Think about all the things that you say you want to do and what's stopping you from doing that. We say, oh, well, I don't have time for that, but you have time to, scroll on social media. And we make time for, Netflix and for YouTube and for Instagram and Twitter and Snapchat. We live our entire lives just like sending pictures of each other, of ourselves to each other. And that's like, I don't know, it's just so like carnal. It's so carnal. So yeah, I challenge y'all today to really think about who your source is. What is your source? What are you putting your value in? And if it's not God, then it's time to reevaluate. It's time to think about repentance. Repentance is not repentance in a way that's like, oh, I'm so terrible, I need to, change the way I live my entire life. But in reality, it's a mindset change. That's all it is. It's a change of mind. And it all starts as a mindset. Change your mindset, you're going to change your life. I don't even know how much of this I'm going to keep in there, because I've literally been rambling for like 10 minutes. But you guys were called to a life that that joy may be in you, and that you may be, and your joy may be full. In him we lack nothing. And I think that's really powerful. Okay guys, so I think that's my first video, but we'll see. I have just been falling in love with being able to create something. So this is going to be obviously a very very much a trial run and very much a beginner kind of thing. So it's not gonna, I'm not promising anything too fancy or anything crazy, but I do enjoy creating it, and I do enjoy getting to share the love of Jesus with y'all. So definitely make sure to, I don't know, whatever you're supposed to do on YouTube. But yeah, thank you so much for going on this journey with me. I'm super excited, and I'm super excited to get to share this this journey with y'all. I love y'all so very much. Okay, bye.